article that I did was a flu vaccine that's always in season. Alright, so in 2013, H7N9 infected 135 people, causing 44 deaths. And this was in China. And what it actually was a strain of bird flu. And the strain actually mutated from a normal influenza virus. And it mutated, and then it was able to cause all these infections and deaths. And we got lucky with the H7N9 virus because it was only around for about 2 months before it subsided with the summer months. So had it actually come earlier, there could have been a lot more deaths, and had it not subsided, millions could have died. So vaccines take time to create. So like I said, had it come earlier, we wouldn't have been prepared for it. These scientists were caught completely off guard. They were trying, every year they make the vaccines for what they think will be most likely to emerge that year. And so since they were working on a different strain, when the H7N9 came out, they were caught completely off guard. And so the hemagglutinin, it's a protein on the tips of the virus, and that's what helps it attach to cells, and that's how it gets into the cell. And so most vaccines are used by taking particles of the hemagglutinin and then breaking them apart and then injecting them into the humans, and then the antibodies are created to defend against that. But that's actually the thing that evolves the most is the hemagglutinin. So it's very hard to create a vaccine that defends against all the viruses, because they only attack the hemagglutinin. And so in 1993, Japanese researchers discovered that rodents actually make an antibody which can block several viruses. And then in 2003, several different teams demonstrated that humans could also make these antibodies. And the way these antibodies actually work is they don't attack the hemagglutinin, they actually attach to the stem. And that's what helps them destroy the virus, because the stems don't evolve very much. And so they started using, trying to figure out different ways that they could use it to their advantage. So some groups began, like I said, attacking the stem rather than the hemagglutinin, because it doesn't evolve very much. Other groups started trying to use a protein called M2, and what they would do is they would create a virus out, and they would make it so the hemagglutinin doesn't react with the body, so the virus wouldn't do anything. There wouldn't be any symptoms, but the virus would be alive in the body. But the antibodies would start attacking the M2, and the M2 is a protein which helps the virus enter into the cell. So if you can block them from entering the cell, then you wouldn't get any symptoms in the first place. And then others are just using a completely different tactic. Let's not try to use the stem or the M2. Let's just make the body create a bunch of helper T cells and just completely destroy the virus before it gets a chance to do anything. But most of the research was going slow because not a lot of people die from flu that much each year. Until the swine flu, dun, dun, dun. H1N1 broke out in 2009, killed almost 18,000 people in the United States. So that just basically shocked all the researchers. They're like, all right, we got to develop some new tactics here. But there are still many different obstacles to overcome with a universal vaccine. So most of the time, it's money. Private manufacturers don't want to put something in unless they know for sure that it's going to work. The method that we've been using with vaccines has been around since the 1940s. So it's been proven to work as long as they get the strain right. Another reason is that the FDA would have to perform a lengthy examination. Since the method that we're using now has been around since the 1940s, whenever they come out with a new vaccine, it's basically the same as the vaccine as last year, with just a slightly different modification. So it passes through the FDA's inspections very quickly. If we develop an entirely different new vaccine that works on all of them, then the examination process would take a lot longer, because there will be a bunch of new stuff that the FDA hasn't seen before in that vaccine. Any questions?
That was good.
Thanks.
So, is the little new vaccine that's like universal, and they're working on it?
They're working on it, and it's supposed to be coming out with some prototypes in the next 5 years.
When's the trailer?
Oh, I don't know.
What's the truth?
It's a trailer.
Was it easy?
How long does it take the FDA to approve vaccines?
It didn't give an exact time frame, but it just said that the process moves on very quickly with the different strains that have already been, for that year. Right.
Dr. Kim has a question.
Dr.
So
Kim?
I think FDA is not worldwide organizations. For example, if the vaccine is approved in other countries, for example, Japan or Canada, and I'm not sure whether FDA can facilitate their
Yeah.
examination time.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.